Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend. I know we are down in the Ozarks this weekend for some cheerleading, but we've got a great podcast to get you through the weekend. And we're going to be talking about underrated pools at Walt Disney World. Spring is just around the corner. Baseball is being played down on the peninsula of Florida and out in Arizona. So that means it's almost time to start thinking about that summer or spring Walt Disney World vacation. And if you're going to head down, you got to swim. So instead of talking about the best pools around Walt Disney World, which Stormalong Bay always wins over at Yacht and Beach, we're going to talk about where you might want to swim that we think those pools don't get the love they deserve. So see what makes our list, and maybe you'll have to think about staying at these resorts if your kids or if you are somebody who loves a nice dip on your next Disney vacation. Don't forget, our show always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure, whether it's out to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney, for no additional cost to you. Just swing by the website today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys are Club BOGP. You make the show happen, and you can support us as well for just $5 per month. It really means a lot to us, and you're going to get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over this weekend. We're waiting for you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2441 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're ready for a great weekend. I'll be spending this weekend down in Springfield, Missouri, down in the Ozarks, the mountains of Missouri. We're proud of those mountains. They're not really mountains. If you ever head down to Springfield, Missouri, they're really just hills. But we call them mountains in Missouri, and we're dang proud of those things, the Ozarks. I mean, it's where Silver Dollar City is, in Branson. I mean, it's pretty sweet down there. If you've never been there, it is actually pretty cool. So I get to spend some time down there. It's the Missouri State Game Day Cheerleading Championships. So shout out to Howell. Let's go, girls. Let's bring home a state championship. Let's see what happens down at Drury University. But before we go, we got a big podcast today, getting ready for the spring today. We're going to talk some Disney pools. And to do that, my good buddy Scott up in Michigan. Hashtag Scotty G. What's up, Scott?
It's February, Mike. I am dreaming of swimming pools. You know, like
you do like to swim.
People will send me messages sometimes. Like, no one does a Disney pool like Scotty G.
That's
like,
true.
I love my pools at Walt Disney World.
That you do.
So I'm very excited for this topic. But yeah, for this weekend, you know what's crazy, Mike? You and I flew out to Disneyland like 5-6 weeks ago, just about to do the Disneyland Half and Challenge. And my dad came out. The man is still in California, but this Sunday he's coming home. He's had a 6.5 weeks out in Southern California, having a fantastic time. But now it's time for him to come back home to Michigan. So sorry I missed the live show, but got to pick up the old man. He's got to come home eventually.
He's
right?
got to come home. Yeah.
Your dad is going to have the best tan when he comes back, dude. He's going to be. I mean, I know you're not a Nick Saban fan, but that cat is like, he is tanned and glowing since he retired like a few weeks ago. Like he's been on the golf course nonstop since he said he's not coaching football. Your dad's going to be like that, man. He's going to have like that hat on, like just. He's going to look like Jimmy Buffett. Like, I mean, dude, he's going to be chilling.
President's Day weekend, they went to San Diego, and you know how much I love San Diego. And he was sending me photos, man. Like, it was kind of like me to you sometimes. Like, remember, I'll send you photos. Yes. He was killing me. He was like, here I am at the zoo. He went to Coronado Island, which I loved. He took a photo of the Del Coronado, which is like the Grand Floridian kind of like vibe. Like, he was in Little Italy. Then he went to Carlsbad. Like, he just went to all these places I love. And like, I'm glad he's having fun, man. That's what it's all about. But to see my dad like just getting loose, having a good time, man, that's what it's all about.
Which you gotta say, a little behind the scenes. I mean, when we were out there for the Disneyland Half, you had put your dad on a ride share, on a Lyft or an Uber for the very first time. He'd never been on a ride share. And so I remember like we were outside the Grand Californian and you had ordered the Uber, put your dad in the Uber. You were such a good son. You put your dad in the Uber, like, and talked to the driver, explained, like, my dad's ever been in a ride share, and you were like tracking it, making sure he got to where he needed, because he needed to get to his car. They had a car parked because they went to watch you finish the race. And now, like, weeks later, like he's been all over California. He is a champ.
I don't know if I told you this because they went to Vegas like a week later, and he said he ordered 6 Ubers while he was in Vegas.
That's good.
So we taught him a lesson. No, it was funny. That person that drove him when you were with me, when I ordered him that ride share, it was like their 3rd ever drive. They were like a new person.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
It was like new versus new, man. It was.
Oh my gosh.
He said it was quite the experience for sure. But
he comes home and he's
happy to have him come home. I'm taking some bets. When's he gonna go back out to California because he's having such a good time? He says he's definitely want to be there in late July. I think he's going to be back in April, to be honest. He's going to get a taste of a reminder of what Michigan is like. He's lived in Michigan 67 years. He's going to be like, oh, you know what, son? I'm going back in April. That's my guess. We'll see what happens.
As soon as it gets cold again, like, I'm out of here. I'm done with this.
Exactly. When we have like our 3rd winter or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. With the Midwest thing. Exactly. All right. Ricky knows all about this. We have her. She's from the mouseforless.com and the revived A Disney World afterall.com. Ricky, happy Friday. We made it to another weekend.
Happy Friday. And I have to say, congratulations to my brother and Kevin. They are getting married today. So I will actually be in Florida this weekend for their wedding. So very excited. They're getting married at the courthouse. But it's still exciting to have a new member of the family. We can't wait to have Kevin as part of our family. So we're very excited about that. He absolutely adores Lucy. They are just the best uncles ever. So we're very happy about that. And then this weekend, I am going to the dark side. I am actually we're gonna go to Epcot for a little bit. The reception dinner is at Flying Fish, that kind of stuff. So I've got a little Disney in here, but we are actually going to go over to Universal, and we are going to celebrate Mardi Gras for Lucy's first birthday. Oh my God, can you guys believe it? Like, she's going to be 1 at the end of this month. And yeah, so nothing says happy first birthday like a Mardi Gras theme, and that's what I'm going with, baby.
So wait a second. Hey, time out. Now, Mardi Gras is over, is it? I'm not Catholic, right? Because isn't like it's Lent right now, isn't it? Yeah, because like all the fish fries are happening here in St. Louis.
Universal does Mardi Gras for like 2 months.
Okay. I was confused because like I live in a very St. Louis is a very Catholic town, right? And everybody's all the Catholic parishes have their fish fries right now.
Yes.
So that means Lent's over, or that means Mardi Gras is over. Mardi Gras is over. Lent's on.
Not for Universal.
Okay.
Universal has the best Mardi Gras fun experience ever. They have such fantastic food. They've got great food booths. They have fantastic entertainment. Oh my gosh. Not only do they have the great, bands and stuff like that play Mardi Gras, theme songs and stuff like that, but then there's also like they bring in bands. Now I'm not gonna be there I will be there for this weekend, and I don't know who's performing. Like there's a big name artist performing this weekend and I don't know who it is, but so I'll be avoiding that. But the best part about Universal Mardi Gras is their parade, which is such a fantastic parade. They do just a phenomenal job with this thing. They actually have floats created, I believe, by the float makers that create the ones for actual Mardi Gras in New Orleans. They have different floats every single year, which is, again, just a totally phenomenal thing that they do. Of course, there's their normal favorites that they have. You got to have the gator. It's a part of Mardi Gras. But they also throw out beads. And oh my gosh, if you're not covered in beads by the time this parade is over, you've done it wrong, because they just toss them out like candy. They're just going everywhere. It is so much fun. So I'm so excited to not only get to experience Mardi Gras, because it's been a couple years since I've done that, but also to celebrate Lucy's first birthday as part of this. It's going to be just a great time.
And you can ride the floats and throw the beads as a guest.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that, but you know, that's okay. But you can do that. Like if you sign up ahead of time. And I think that they have a dining package actually that you can sign up for and actually throw out the beads as well, which is really cool. If I didn't have Lucy with me, I would 100% sign up for that. But yeah, we're gonna go have a really, really good time celebrating both my brother and Kevin and Lucy. So it's gonna be a great
fantastic. What a great celebration.
It's just a totally huge celebration weekend for our family.
And I'm sure a lot more family friendly than Soulard.
A little bit, yeah.
If you've ever been in St. Louis, I went down to that one time with Pam right when we were first dating. Wow. Because
I can promise
I'm not the biggest party guy. I mean, I like parties, but dude, I went to Soulard for Mardi Gras, which is, they say, the second biggest Mardi Gras outside of New Orleans in America. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had one good hurricane. It was a great hurricane, by the way.
Mom is excited to have a Bloody Mary because she said that was the best Bloody Mary that she'd ever had when she went to Mardi Gras at Universal. So we're gonna have a really good time, I think, celebrating.
Have a great time. That's gonna be an awesome celebration. All right,
so follow along on the socials because I'll definitely have party stuff going on. Yeah.
Okay, have fun. I mean, is it okay for a baby, a 1-year-old, to be in all this? I mean, okay.
Yes, it's gonna be so much fun.
I'm picturing Soulard. That's nowhere for a child. I mean, that's nowhere for anybody that's got sense. But okay.
Family-friendly Mardi Gras.
Okay, I'm just saying. Just saying. I was like 40 at the time, and I'm lucky I survived. I'm lucky I got out of that place alive. Okay.
Family friendly. We're
just saying. I barely made it out alive out of South St. Louis. Okay. Anyway, so today. Just bring it back. Like I'm sweating right now just thinking of that day down in Soulard. Okay, so today we're getting you ready for spring at Walt Disney World. And we could throw in Disneyland there too, even the cruise line if we wanted. We're talking pools, underrated pools though, because we always talk about, because if we talk about the best pools at Walt Disney World, Stormalong Bay is where we always end up, right? Because I mean, it's winter chicken dinner. It's got sand bottom. It's got all the stuff. It's got a mini water park. But today, underrated pools, like pools that don't get the love that it deserves. And I think right off the bat, we have one in the chat. Joe Laszlo, our good friend down in Atlanta, Mr. Tesla, drives. I don't know. I wonder if Joe's got an Apple Vision Pro and he's been driving around with no hands and like VR. No, he's too responsible for that. He would not do that. I'm just kidding. He would not do that. But he has a great first suggestion. I'm going to give the first one to our listener, Joe. And he says the boardwalk pool. And I could not agree more because you think of Stormalong Bay and the Crescent Lake area, Stormalong Bay.
Yes.
But boardwalk pool is awesome. It's a great little pool because it's got the key. Do they still call it the Keister Coaster Slide? It's like that old, like, what's that East Coast Coney Island? Is it Coney Island roller coaster looking slide? That slide is a ton of fun. Now it was better. He mentions this. It was better when it was the clown.
Creepier.
People didn't
I have lots of pictures of you coming out of the clown.
I know. So. It was. I mean, people either hated it or loved it. I loved the clown. It was whack. I mean, it was so weird looking, but it was like so unique. I love that old clown. Weird. They took it out, but that slide is so much fun. It's right on that kind of little waterway that takes you over to the studios, right on the path. And you can kind of see the swan and the dolphin right there. It's just a great big pool. It's got a great pool bar next to it. Looks like a carousel. Plenty of chairs around the pool deck. It's a great pool. It's very underrated. Nobody ever talks about it. Great pool, but underrated. So I'm gonna give the first one to Joe with the boardwalk pool. All right, Scott, give us an underrated pool at Walt Disney World.
All right, so Saratoga Springs is like the home of pools. For those that haven't stayed there before, so. You actually have there's 2 water slides at this resort. Like most resorts have, like, well, if it's a moderate or above, have a main pool with a water slide. Mm-hmm. But Saratoga Springs has 2. They have the High Rock Springs pool, the water slide. They have the Paddock pool that has water slides. They both have bar. They both have food. But the one pool I think people always forget about at Saratoga Springs, this is my underrated one, is the Grandstand pool. It is so cool. Everyone's going to be at the Paddock. Everyone's going to be at the High Springs. I like to go to the Grandstand. It is an awesome pool. It's like horse themes. You hear the like go off all the time. Every hour.
That might get a little old after a while, but
it's awesome. There's a hot tub. You're going to see a theme with me with this with my pools here. that hot tub oversees the Sassagoula River. One time I was in that hot tub. Mike did a live video from the Sassagoula boat, and I was like trying to look for him, as I'm sitting there in the hot tub. But one thing that I think a lot of people forget about, this quiet pool, unquote, has like a little food stand and a bar. Like it is the third pool at that resort that has food and a bar. Like I think people overlook that. It's a great place to hang out. Can't recommend it enough. I'm going with the grandstand as a highly underrated pool.
That's a great pick. Now, I'm not throwing this one in there, but there's also, because I can't remember the name of it, but Old Key West has a pool that's way in the back that also has
it might be on my list.
Okay, sorry. Okay. It's like that one is so hidden, but it also has a place where you can get some good food. Like, and you wouldn't expect it. Okay, so I'm going to give that away. Ricky, go ahead. I'm putting my foot in my mouth. Go ahead.
You are. I feel like the pool, and I'm going to continue with the kind of theme of Mardi Gras here. I feel like the pool at Port Orleans, the French Quarter is one that does not get talked about a lot. The Doubloon Lagoon pool, because it has, being
updated right now, by the way.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was just there and I couldn't use it because it was under refurb.
Well, let's hope that they don't get rid of the not spider.
No, it's not going.
Lizard.
What is it? It's a sea serpent.
It's a sea serpent, right? Lizard, sea serpent, whatever
it's
that
not
thing
a lizard.
is. Because you come out of its tongue. I mean, again, what a cool, unique theme for a pool. But it's one that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. So I'm going to throw it out there as a unique pool that nobody goes to because you never hear anybody talking about it. But then there's also the gators, I think, that are around it. And they have, they spout out, water. And it's such a cool, unique idea. Again, it goes along with that Mardi Gras theme. I'm just in a Mardi Gras place right now. So I really think that that's a great pool that's kind of underrated that nobody really kind of mentions. It's a sea serpent. It's a sea serpent.
It's a sea serpent.
I love the little figurines around there too. You see these alligators with playing a clarinet,
saxophones.
With their jazz
Exactly.
instruments. It's so cool. Yeah.
So
and you can go get some beignets and then go have them poolside.
Yes, and that's what I wanted to say. So let's kind of have the conversation real quick. I mean, how much do you think about the pool when it comes to making your resort choice?
I do.
I know you do a lot because you've actually changed. Because you've actually said, Mike, I got to change my resort because pool under
because
refurb.
a pool is closed or something.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of our listeners do.
For me, it's not. I don't think about the pool that much because I'm not typically in the pool. I'm mostly in the parks. It's very rare that I end up in the pool, and if I do, it's just me sitting around it for a little bit. I don't usually have pool days. I think as time goes on and Lucy gets older, of course, then pool days will become more important as she wants to go swimming. But for now, I don't really think about what pool, is where. So that's but like I said, I'm sure that's going to change as time goes on.
Another thing that is a very big highlight of Port Orleans French Quarter's pool, it's just really nice because there's one pool at French Quarter, right? There's no quiet pools. Because this resort is so small. So you have the one pool. The pool bar is very nice. I mean, it is right next to it. And also, there is a very nice and pretty decently sized playground that is right adjacent to the pool. You don't have to go, like at Pop Century, there's 3 pools, but the playground is not near any of the pools. The playground is over in the 80s section, but on the other side of the buildings. Because there's an 80s pool, but the playground is not by the pool. This one, you can kind of have everything. That's kind of one of the beauties of this resort in itself. If you want to talk about the resort as a whole, everything is very walkable and everything is very compact. So if you want to have a pool day, you could be at the pool, you could be at the pool bar, you can be at the playground. Everything can happen all together there. It's very nice. It makes for very simple.
Yeah, I agree. That's the beauty about that resort. Like, Mike, that was like the last resort we haven't stayed at, and we just stayed over there over Marathon, and I fell in love with it. I just we got spoiled being in building 1 or whatever with that great view of the Sassagoula, but just how small it is and just the background loops, just everything about that resort. I think it's my new favorite. I absolutely love it.
And Joe brings up a good point too. We were talking about Joe earlier, is that the pool's a factor when he brings his kids and he says, got to have a slide. And so we haven't really talked about this lately, but when you talk about the difference between value, moderate, and deluxe and the categories for Walt Disney World, so the values are going to have obviously pools, but they will not have slides at their pools. When you move to a moderate, all the moderate resorts do have slides at their feature pools. Now they have quiet pools at the moderates. Those do not have slides. Those are just basically just like pools, but they will have a slide at their feature pool. So like at the Coronado Springs, you got the Jaguar slide, Caribbean Beach, you got the Pirate slide, so forth. And then, of course, the deluxes will have really cool slides, like the Flying Jib. We talked about the Keister Coaster, stuff like that. So that is a factor. I mean, because that is something that, as our kids grew up, I mean, Scott, it, and I knew it with like Paige and Mallory both, that's a huge thing because you take that midday break, the kids, I mean, I'm sure Emily was the same way. I mean, it was hard to kind of, when you took a midday break and went back for a swim, I mean, sometimes it's hard to get them out of the pool to go back to the theme parks at night.
Oh, for sure. I think we talked about this recently on an episode where like I loved observing like families in the pool. Like, what time it is when like families start trying to pull the kids out of the pool. Like, it's dinner time and they just never want to go. It's so funny. Like, oh, we got a reservation to be our guest, Susie. We got to go. I'm like, no, I'm going to stay in the pool. Like, I just like sit back on a lounge chair or wherever I am. And I just like laugh because like been there, done that. Like I know what that family is feeling it. But yeah, like it's just so hard to pull them out because it's so much fun. It really is fun.
It is. Okay, so I'm going to go a twofer on mine real quick, and I'm going Animal Kingdom Lodge on mine. And we talked about this on Wednesday. One of our listeners was tuned in poolside, and we were all three just jealous because we were working hard in our studios producing the show for you. No, we love doing this, but they were at a better place. They were sitting poolside at Jumbo House Feature Pool, watching the show, which we appreciate. But that's a pool you never hear people talk about too much. And it is, I think I like that pool so much. It is large. It is a very large pool, but it just feels lush to me. If I had one word to describe this pool at Jumbo House, it's lush. Because the buildings that surround it, it's kind of that horseshoe shape, kind of just like the resort itself. They have that thatched roof and everything just feels very natural and very tropical. And it just feels very inviting. And this pool, I think, is way better at night. There's certain pools that have a very nice feeling at night. And I think this is one of them. Again, great pool bar. And this is a super chill pool. But the reason I said I'm throwing in a twofer on this one is that you can go across. Now, this is in a weird spot, though. And a lot of people don't know this pool's there. If you go across the parking lot, there's another pool for Kidani, which features a lot of like water features for kids. Now, kids are going to like this one a lot more than the adults. The adults are not going to be, this is not going to be your jam. But when Mallory was like 9 or 10, 8, 9, 10 in that age group, we took her over to that pool. It was it's in a weird spot. I don't know if you guys have been to this one, but we went over to the other pool and it's got a lot of like, the water features and the squirt guns and the like little slides and so forth. She loved that pool, and nobody ever talks about that pool. Like, I don't even know a lot of people even know it's there, but it is. It's the Kidani pool, and she had a blast over there. I mean, she had so much fun, but I was like, I wasn't into that one. I want to go back to the big chill pool, but we did it for her. You do it for your kids. So
the Kidani pool is great. I do
fun,
like that.
But it's a different vibe. It's so different.
That water feature for the kids is awesome.
Yeah, she loved it.
And I agree with everything. I love how you describe Jumbo's as lush because, you're surrounded by all these great trees and everything. It's just a beautiful setting. And going to Joe's point earlier, I just got my only beef with that pool is the slide. I do not think the slide at Jumbo House is that great. It's short. It's not very high up there. It's just like
I don't even remember slide. I can't even, to be honest, I can't remember where the slide is at Jumbo. Now you say that. Where is it?
It's like tucked away like in the corner. So like,
I don't remember.
You enter like through the infinity. So you like kind of go in and then you turn left and it's long down there. It's kind of like back in that corner over there.
God, I don't even remember the slide there. That's how bad it is.
It's kind of like by the hot tub and it's not very memorable.
I can tell you because I don't remember it. Yeah, now you say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good pick.
I don't know.
Good pick.
That's but it because to me that's more of a pool like that's like an adult pool. Like it's very much like a chill out and just like at the end of your day. Say you come back to the parks 9 o'clock. You got a couple hours to just chill in the pool like in the summer. Oh, it's a great spot to be. Oh man, like on a hot summer night. Oh man,
so
killing
good.
it.
So good.
All right, Scott, give another one. What you got?
So I'm going with this one. It's not my favorite at the resort, but I'm saying that it's underrated because I feel like people don't talk about it that much. And at least like in conversations I have or like listener questions and things like that, we don't hear a question about this pool very often. And that is the feature pool at the Riviera Resort. It is very cool. It's themed to like Fantasia.
Yes,
like,
it is.
The slide is awesome. Like the
Sivu Play. It's called Sivu Play.
Sivu Play. Yeah. And like the water, the kids water feature next door is super cool. It's just, it's robust. It's fantastic. But I feel like I never hear anyone talk about it. And like when I'm in it, it's not very busy. A lot of people go to the quiet pool next door. Which I can understand why. I mean, the quiet pool is very nice, and you're not usually going to run into like loud screaming kids, But I just got to say, I don't understand why it's not talked about that much. I think it's one of the best slides at Walt Disney World. It's going back to the night thing. I think all pools are kind of better at night because you don't have to worry about sunscreen and things like that personally. Yeah. But at night, it just lights up. You can see it from the top of Topolino's too. Like it's kind of cool to go down there. They do the movie Under the Stars, like right by that pool too. So you can watch a movie while you're in the pool at night. It's just, man, I'm just so surprised people don't talk about it as much, but I just think it's a fantastic pool. Sounds like you agree with me on that one, Ricky.
Yeah, I you're right. People definitely do not talk about that pool. I very rarely hear about it. But I remember them. Now, obviously, I've never stayed at the Riv yet, but I remember Disney talking it up before the resort actually opened, and the fact that it was themed after Fantasia and it did have some really cool, unique aspects to it. And I remember thinking that's a really cool pool. So you're right. I am surprised that you don't hear a lot about it overall. But then again, I don't know that I hear a lot about people talking about other things besides Topolino's at Riv, at the Riv. I don't hear them talking about.
You don't hear about the Riv hardly ever. For as big as that hotel is, like it's
that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't hear about it.
Maybe it's because it's Disney Vacation Club,
maybe,
to be part of it. But like, it's like, I mean, if I had to like pick a place to, God, it's so hard. Like, we got the Polynesian, I mean, it's so hard to say, but now we're talking about the Riviera. Like, the rooms are absolutely stunning, and the artwork in that resort is so great. My only beef, honestly, with the Riviera Resort is the gift shop. I mean, the gift shop is like a 2x4. I mean, it's just so small.
It's a bathroom. It's so tiny. Yeah.
But you're right, kind of, Mike, though, and Ricky. Like, you really don't hear a lot of people talk about it. Maybe it's because it's like Disney Vacation Club members like me that are just trying to keep it quiet.
Maybe it could be.
It is. It's what it used to say on the buses, like Disney's best kept secret.
Best kept secret. It really is.
It is totally living up to that moniker right now. But no, you know what? One thing about those pools though at the Riv, when it first came online, like that quiet pool is so dang nice that I never, as somebody who was not a DVC member, like when I go over there to like Primo Piatto and just kind of like stroll through as a casual, I never considered that a quiet pool because I'm like, that pool was so nice. Like I was like, that's a feature pool. Like in my mind, I'm like, that's the feature pool because it's so stinking nice when I walk past it that I'd never like gave a thought that that's a quiet pool because I thought that's the feature pool.
It's just weird because it's right next to the main pool.
Yeah,
the quiet pool should be tucked away. Like
usually they're in the corner. Yeah, exactly. Like at Riverside or something.
There's really nowhere for it to be tucked in a corner though, I guess, over at that resort.
Yeah, because I'm used to being next to like a laundry machine. Yeah.
For the longest time, I didn't think Yacht Club had a quiet pool. That was just Stormalong Bay, but you booked me a room there once, Mike, and I was like way at the end, kind of like where the dog area is of like Yacht Club, and I had a quiet pool resort room.
There we go.
I was like, oh sweet, there's a quiet pool. That's like where the laundry is at the Yacht Club.
Yeah,
you see a lot with the quiet pools. It's like the quiet pool / laundry area.
Yeah, quiet pools are usually adjacent to places where you can do your laundry.
Which is great. Like I'll put a load of laundry in, I go for a swim.
Boom. That's what we used to do all the time we drove. Actually, I think at Yacht Club, it's next to, isn't there like a tennis area, like a pickleball area or something?
I think there might be. Yeah.
Something like that.
It's nice. Yeah. Ricky, you got another underrated one for us?
You know what? I do. And it kind of goes back to what you were talking about earlier of the play areas. And it's actually the play area over at the Grand Floridian. They have an area that is themed after Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter. Like Mike was saying, when I was a kid, I absolutely adored those jungle gym type play areas, where there's always the bucket that dumped water on you. That was always the thing. You'd always you could tell it was coming, and you'd run over there, and then you'd run screaming when it started. Yeah. So
I'd be worried that it would like knock me down to the ground. There's some force on those.
There's definitely some force.
The one at Caribbean Beach smoked Mallory one time, and dude, she was a hysterical fit. She would not go back in that pool after that one time.
Yep. They definitely smoke you for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But
those things are no joke.
nobody. I don't know if it's just because I would be at the resort, and usually in January. But like I never see a lot of people go over there because it's kind of tucked away, and it is mostly just that, it's not got a full pool by it, I don't believe, if I remember correctly. So it really is just a play area, but it's a great little area for kids to run around, run off some steam, run up and down the stairs, squirt water guns at people. And I think it's fantastic. So I really like, again, that Disney did that. They just really hit it out of the park with the theming, being themed after, Alice in Wonderland and at the Grand Floridian. So I really like that little pool area. I think it's really nice.
I wish that it was more like adult themed.
I know, right?
It's so awesome.
Oh no, the water's coming out!
I know.
I gotta borrow Lucy so I can go in there real quick.
It's fine. You can totally borrow her.
Some kids like that, and some kids it's like a nightmare. It just depends. It's like a personality test. Because some kids are like, I can't stand it. No, but the Grand Floridian though, I mean, just an honorary mention for adults. Dude, that quiet pool right in the middle, it's the jam. I love hanging out at that pool.
That's always, some of those resorts are just weird, kind of like Riviera. There's only like the 2 pools, so it's like,
it does get busy.
Like, it's a quiet pool, but like, is it really a quiet pool? Like,
it's not a quiet pool. Yeah, it's not a quiet pool. It's like a secondary pool, is what I consider.
Yeah, I know, but it's like you almost like want like, can you just have like another like pool somewhere? But Grand Floridian is so hard because they do a really good job using all their grounds. Like, where are they gonna put it basically? But yeah, they do a good job of that. I love that pool. Oh man.
Oh, dude, I want to get my trunks. Okay,
I want to put my trunks on. It's nighttime. Like, I don't even have to put sunscreen on. I can just hop right in.
That's true. That's made for you because you're fair skinned. All right, here we go. My last one is going to be Caribbean Beach's feature pool. This one is just, I don't know if it's underrated, but I mean, we don't talk about it a whole lot. This pool, I mean, it's awesome. To me, it's almost like going for especially for kids. It's almost like going swimming at Pirates of the Caribbean. Because it's got like these, those big forts you can kind of swim around and swim in. And, speaking of slides, like Joe brought up and Scott's talked about, this is a great slide. I mean, it's like you get to climb up into the fort and go around the turrets and go down. And it's a big pool. And you're swimming right there adjacent to the lake that's at Caribbean Beach. And you're looking out over the Riv. You can see the Skyliner buckets going back and forth. And you're right next to the main area of Caribbean Beach. If you want to get a bite to eat, Banana Cabana is right there adjacent to the pool. So, the adults can get adult beverages. It's kind of really got it all going on. And it's just, it's a huge pool with lots of deck chairs and stuff. It is a great, if you're looking for a resort with a nice pool, Caribbean Beach has a great, and it's got the quiet pools in all the villages like Jamaica, Aruba. You can, swim in your quiet pools if you want. But man, if you're there, do go to the feature pool, especially if you have kids. They will love swimming at that feature pool. Underrated. We don't talk about it enough. So Caribbean Beach, Caribbean Beach.
Not much more I can add, Mike. That you hit it. That's a really great one for sure.
All right, Scotty G, give us one more.
All right, I'm gonna go with the quiet pool because we haven't really talked. Well, we sort of talked about quiet pools, but I'm gonna present for those that are watching, so I can show a photo.
Here we go. Yes, taking control.
Like. So I don't know if you can see that photo, but this is at Coronado Springs.
Oh.
And it is the Quiestas or Casitas. I said that wrong. The Casitas quiet pool.
Quiestas pool. I like it.
I'm just making stuff up now. But this is like right at the Casieta. Oh my God, I ain't even gonna try it. It's the end of the weekend. We're ready. It's the weekend. I'm not a professional podcast.
I'm a Mardi Gras. I don't know what you're talking about. Actually, no, today's the one.
Anyway, this quiet pool is fabulous. It's got these gorgeous palm trees. You got the resort like kind of surrounding it, like that building, and it is always quiet. Hence the quiet pool. Like I hardly ever see anyone over there, and it's just so awesome. And I just I can't say enough good things about it. You're not gonna have your bar or anything like that. You're not gonna have your water slide, but it's one of the most relaxing pools that you can hang out at Coronado Springs while everyone else is all in the other pools. So gotta give some love for that.
And they put that, just a little FYI for this quiet pool. So I think back in the Casitas section of Coronado Springs is where, when conventions happen, Disney tries to put the business travelers, because that's closest to the convention center. And also there's a fitness center right next to this pool. So this is the part of the resort where they try to keep the business travelers. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't stay there as a vacationer. I request this section because it's nice.
It's my favorite section.
This is the jam. You want to stay in this section.
I'm hoping to be there in 1 month from now.
Exactly. You want to be here. You don't have to wear a suit, but because it's got this awesome quiet pool. This quiet pool is the jam. It's got, all these extra treadmills if you want to work out or whatever. It's got the business center. It's a super close walk. There's this bus stop there, super close walk to El Centro.
Now everyone's going to be requesting our building.
No, I mean, there's a lot of rooms. I mean, but it's also got, we had a retreat there with the Magic for Less. Pam booked this room. It's got this one room that's like, it was originally like 4 different rooms that they made into one big room. And it had a big old table that seated we had a meeting in there. I mean, there was like a long table, like you see like
a board table.
Yeah, it was like a board table. It was like Knights of the Round Table. Like it seated like 17 people. It was crazy. And it was wild. So I forget what the room's called, but it's wild. But it's
I like all the quiet because Coronado is starting to run kind of into a pool issue because of the tower, because they built this awesome tower, but they didn't add any pools. But to your point, conventioners are not always necessarily swimming. They're not using that.
Most of them.
And you still have the dig site, and you got the Ranchos quiet pool. The Cabanas has one too, but this one, just something about it, man. I feel like it's just tucked away. People don't know about it, and the setting is so gorgeous. So I hope to see you all there in a month. That those are staying, and we'll just kind of take over that, make that the BOG pool for the week.
Yeah, and the Brave swim in the lake, in the lago, but that's just for the hardy.
Those are the brave for sure.
Exactly, or the stupid. All right, Ricky, you got the final word.
All right, another quiet pool that I'm going to go with, and that is the Oasis pool over at the Polynesian. Again, I feel like everybody goes to the lava pool because that's the one you see. It's right in the center. It's got the volcano and the waterfall and the water slide and everything like that. But the Oasis pool is, again, it's if you're looking for just a nice quality pool day, you want to relax, you want to have a good time and just enjoy, maybe having a dip or something like that. The Oasis pool is definitely a spot where you want to go. There's a patio there as well, with cushioned lawn chairs and things like that. And there's also the Oasis bar and grill when it's open, and they have things like fish tacos and Kahlua pork sliders and Polynesian themed burgers.
And you can order. I've had a lapu lapu there, so you can actually order the famous drink from a pineapple there.
Delicious cocktails, that kind of stuff. So, I can't think of.
Why did you have to share this one?
I know.
I didn't want to say.
Edit
it out now.
I might as well go all in on your commentary now. Like, you can book those cabanas, and those cabanas are so nice there. Oh.
There are cabanas there, which are, I wasn't going to say the cabanas. Now, see, you just threw that out there. So you ruined it. You ruined it for yourself, Scott.
I guess. We're halfway there. So.
We were halfway there. Are we living on a prayer?
That's a great pick, Ricky. It's just so relaxing. I love the main feature pool, right? You got the slide and all that, but it can get a little busy, kind of crazy.
It can get a little crazy. Yeah. So I like that pool a lot. If I'm going to the Polynesian and I'm going to the pool, I'm probably going to be over there.
That's a good one. Yeah. Man, now I'm ready for a dip. I don't know about you.
Yeah, seriously. And all of us, this guarantees everybody around the country except Florida is going to get cold weather again.
Yes.
This is 100% blizzard incoming.
That's just going to make us want to book a trip, Mike. So there we go.
Exactly. All right. Well, we are going to get out of here and wish you a great weekend. And thank you, as always, for spending some time with us here on the show. We appreciate you always downloading the show, spreading the word about the show. If you don't mind, hit that share button when you see the podcast come up on your social media. That helps somebody find our show because, we've been doing this show since 2008. In a couple weeks, it's going to be 16 years of the Be Our Guest podcast. But we love it when folks say, hey, we just found you a couple of weeks ago because, it's a new friend we get to make, and that is always the goal of this show. So please do share the show if you don't mind, and give us a rating on iTunes, or iTunes. That's what it was back in 2008. Now it's Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to the show. I know that we have a lot of listeners over on Spotify. We see that from our tracking. Wherever you grab the show, those things expire after a little while when you've been around as long as us. So if you wouldn't mind putting a few words on your choice download app, we'd really appreciate the rating as well. That would mean a lot to us as we move into our 16th year. So we are going to get out of here. The show is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We thank them for supporting everything we do each and every week, every year. And you can help us by booking your next Disney vacation through them. Just swing by themagicforless.com. No cost to you for your next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney trip. All the details are over there, so check them out over at themagicforless.com. You can also use our Amazon affiliate link when you do that shopping online. It's one extra click. It's all you got to do, and just shop away. Super simple over at beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our patrons who support us each and every month, starting at just $5 per month. And you'll get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over, and thanks to everybody who already does at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on the social media. I'm at beourguestmike. Scott's at epscott, EPSCOT. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs, RIKKINIBS. We'd love to talk to you this weekend so we can just keep tracking and have some conversations about the best pools. You can let us know what your favorite pools are. Or you ever any questions about your Disney trips, we'd love to discuss those with you in real time. So just feel free to fire away, Threads or Instagram or Twitter, whatever you like. We'd love to help you out anytime on the social media. And just again, thank you for supporting our show. We appreciate that very much. So I'll be with you on Sunday night taking your calls, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Join me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or Twitch. We'll be having a good time with the BOGP open line. All right, so until we get back together again, you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.